put it back on.
Hi, camera.
Hey, hurry guys.
Hey guys, welcome back to another vlog.
I'm back again to give a daily report on Mrs. Stoll. She has not been doing very well. She turned her camera off so she could abuse me again.
I have marks on my butt to show it.
Hey, hurry guys.
This one's from a bell.
This one's from the bell.
Believe it or not, this one's from a freaking stapler.
Why is there a creepy guy that's like...
Shove through a desk at me. If I could take my shirt off in school, I'd show you, but I can't. My bad.
46
Boss is crazy.
guys.
She just takes her anger out on
You need
me.
to do this reading in class so that you don't have homework. That's what I'm all about now, okay?
I can see everything. I can see everything you're doing.
Cool.
Without even looking.
Wait, I thought I was the other one.
Okay, Frankenstein, guys, page 46. Eve, get out your phone away. Grab one. Sit down, guys. Berkai, sit down. Why do you need your backpack to grab a phone?
Because he doesn't want me to steal any of the stuff.
I don't think I can use your backpack. It's not a Okay, pick it up and sit down.
I got two Frankenstein.
There's no more. You can borrow, you can like share with Sophia, okay?
I actually have my book in my bag. I was just trying to get a different book so I didn't have to pull it
Sit
out.
down. Okay. Berkai, sit down.
The camera's on.
Okay, turn to page 46.
I don't have a book.
The camera saw her yellow.
You can share with somebody. I don't have extra books. You need to be bringing your book every day.
You can have mine. I wasn't gonna read it.
You remember we talked about romanticism? Okay, everybody's on page 46.
That's not the kind that I like though.
So we're gonna find out what bad news Victor Frankenstein received. So pay attention real quick. I'm not gonna have you read this part. So his sister's been writing him letters, right? Because she's worried about his health. He got really sick after he created the creature, and Henry Clarable's been taking care of him. So he's sick for like 2 months, really, really ill. So his sister's been writing to him, and she's like, "Hey, remember this girl, Justine?" I don't know why she asked him to like remember her, because she's basically like his sister. So Justine is basically like a Cinderella story. Like her dad died, she was the favored one out of her siblings, and her mom like just completely disliked her. And so Victor Frankenstein's mom recognized this, and so she took Justine into their home. And Justine basically became like a servant with a lot of privileges. So she had received a really good education in their home. She had a really, really good relationship with Victor Frankenstein's mom. So she's basically adopted into their family. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So Elizabeth's like, "Hey, Justine, remember her? Anyways, cool. Yeah, she's still with us, and she's awesome." So, and she also brings up his little brother, William. William's this little golden-haired delight. And she's like, "William's growing every day." So, on page 46, she writes him another letter, or this is a letter from his father, okay? So, we're going to be reading bits and pieces today.
This is a LibriVox recording.
Yes.
All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information, please visit LibriVox.blogspot.com. Today's reading by Alex Foster. Frankenstein by Mary Shelley. Chapter 7.
You have to be able to follow on.
On my return, I found the following letter from my father.
That's a good voice.
My dear Victor, you have probably waited impatiently for a letter to fix the date of your return to us, and I was at first tempted to write only a few lines, merely mentioning the day on which I should expect you. But that would be a cruel kindness, and I dare not do it. What would be your surprise, my son, when you expected a happy and glad welcome, to behold on the contrary tears and wretchedness? And how, Victor, can I relate our misfortune? Absence cannot have rendered you callous to our joys and griefs, and how shall I inflict pain on my long-absent son? I wish to prepare you for the woeful news, but I know it is impossible. Even now your eye skims over the page to seek the words which are to convey to you the horrible tidings. William is dead. That sweet child who smiles delighted.
What's the bad news?
William is dead.
Yeah, who's William?
Died.
The little golden delight.
Yeah, his little brother is
Warmed
dead.
my heart, who was so gentle yet so gay. Victor,
Hey. This should have been our vocab words for today. So gay back then meant happy.
to console you, but will simply relate the circumstances of the
He
transaction.
was murdered.
Last Thursday, I, my niece, and your two brothers went to walk in Flat Valley. The evening was warm and serene, and we
So
prolonged
he's
our walk
describing
far
the
from
scenario, right? How it happened. He's like, so why does he tell him through a letter rather than in person?
Because he lives far away.
He lives far away.
He lives over here.
Yeah, he lives far away, and Victor Frankenstein's gonna show up, and he doesn't want that to be the bad news as soon as he shows up, right? Like, hey, it's so good to see you. Your brother's dead. Like, that's probably not the best way to deliver that news. So maybe in this scenario, a letter is the
I thought he
best
was
thing.
going to visit.
I don't know.
How
Okay.
far away is he?
It was already dusk before we thought of returning, and then we discovered that William and Ernest, who had gone on before, were not to be found. We accordingly rested on a seat until they should return. Presently Ernest came and inquired if we had seen his
So
brother.
Ernest is his other brother.
He said that he had been playing with him, that William had run away to hide himself, and that he vainly sought for him, and afterwards he waited a long time, but that he did not return. This account rather alarmed us, and we continued to search for him until night fell, when Elizabeth conjectured that he might have returned to the house. He was not there. We returned again with torches, for I could not rest when I thought that my sweet boy had lost himself and was exposed to all the damps and dews of night. Elizabeth also suffered extreme anguish. About 5 in the morning, I discovered my lovely boy, whom the night before I had seen blooming and active in health, stretched on the grass, livid and motionless. The print of the murder's finger was on his neck.
So use your skill, your deduction skills. I know you all are like
Sure
CSI
thing. I didn't
people.
know
The monster did it.
How did he? Oh, you think the creature did
The
it?
creature, yes.
How was he murdered?
The creature came and murdered him.
Strangulation. Yes. The finger.
Strangulation.
Huh?
Also, I don't know, but the monster was.
We don't know. But all we know is
The
that.
creature did it.
Are you staying?
Do we know?
So Damien thinks the creature did it. Who thinks the creature did it?
I saw
Yes.
it.
Yes.
Damien's pretty smart.
What motive would the creature have for killing this sweet little boy?
Food!
The creature.
No,
Yes.
Victor.
Eat him?
Yes.
He didn't eat him.
Food.
He didn't eat him. He just strangulated
Oh.
him.
They don't, I'll be.
Who did?
Oh, who did?
That's what I don't know. Damien thinks the creature did it. So you guys think the creature did it?
Wait, do we
Does
ever
it
find
tell
out
us
who did it?
eventually?
Isabel, what do you think?
Can we give the creature a
She has so many opinions about it, huh?
Can we give
Mr. Green, we already said that.
Mr. Green, okay?
So you guys think Mr. Green did it?
Yeah.
The creature.
With the,
His creation.
Mr. Green did it in the lounge with the rope.
Yeah.
Okay. Said his fingerprint was on it, so probably not a rope, right?
But he could use the rope.
The print of the murderer's finger was on his neck, so it couldn't
Well,
be a rope.
somehow
So let's think of a scenario. Why would the creature want to kill
the
William?
creature was mad because
doesn't know anything.
The creature doesn't know any better, so he's just walking around murdering everybody up there?
Yeah.
It's like the dinosaur in Jurassic Park.
fought
Yeah,
on
it's
it.
like a velociraptor.
He's killing for sport.
No, the boss there's
We'll
no
find out.
between.
We will. Okay.
No, not in
So
Jurassic
let's
Park.
continue.
In Jurassic World, they know they're doing it. Jurassic Park, they're freaking crazy.
No,
He was conveyed home.
There's the way.
Guys. So he was conveyed home right after his.
Visible in my countenance, betrayed the secret to Elizabeth. She was very earnest to see the corpse. At first, I attempted to prevent her, but she persisted, and entering the room where it lay, hastily examined the neck of the victim, and clasping her hands exclaimed, "Oh God, I have murdered my darling child."
What the?
You killed him?
She fainted and was restored with extreme difficulty. When she again lived, it was only to weep and sigh. She told me that that same evening, William had teased her to let him wear a very valuable miniature that she possessed of your mother. This picture is gone, and was doubtless the temptation which urged the murderer to the deed. We have no trace of him at present, although our exertions to discover him are unremitted. But they will not restore my beloved William. Come,
So
dearest.
why does she say, "Oh, I've murdered William"?
You put something expensive on him or something.
Yeah, she gave him like this nice locket to wear, and that's what he was wearing, and it was gone when they discovered the body. So she assumed that like the murderer wanted that.
The creature wanted something shiny, so he tried to get it, but he didn't murder the meat.
That's what you think? Does anybody think that it was somebody besides the murderer?
Nope.
Brother.
The murderer. Okay. Yes, it was the
No,
death.
he did it himself.
He stroked himself.
Does anyone think it was anyone besides the
Like
crowd?
grabs his hand like, oh man.
Besides,
Mr. Green.
besides Mr. Green, yes.
He's a werewolf.
The creature.
The werewolf.
Anybody.
They started
Black
referring to him as
Panther.
Mr. Green.
Oh.
His name's not Mr. Green.
He's-
He remains unnamed. So,
Why?
anybody think it's anybody besides the creature? Blake, you think so?
Can I go to the bathroom?
Go.
Wait, you want me to tell you what I think?
Yeah.
I think it was the creature.
Okay. Cool. Okay, we're gonna resume.
Miss
Can I
Victor,
go to the bathroom?
you alone can console Elizabeth. She weeps continually and accuses herself unjustly as the cause of his death. Her words pierce my heart. We are all unhappy. But will not that be an additional motive for you, my son, to return and be our comforter? Your dear mother. Alas, Victor, I now say, thank God she did not live to witness the cruel, miserable death of her youngest darling. Come, Victor, not brooding thoughts of vengeance against the assassin, but with feelings of peace and gentleness that will heal instead of festering the wounds of our minds. Enter the house of mourning, my friend, but with kindness and affection for those who love you, and not with hatred for your enemies.
So would that be very easy? What is his
I
dad
can't
telling him
handle
to
this
do?
book.
What what is his dad telling him to do?
Well, kind of affection for those who love, not with hatred for your enemies.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wouldn't you want to act with vengeance?
Bro, I would just go kill everybody.
Oh, go.
What if it's the
Okay.
creature that
Okay,
works so
James.
hard?
Nobody offend.
James, or kill his little brother.
So basically, he receives this letter, and
Oh,
Clairville.
brother.
Hey guys, so he receives this letter,
I can
and
be
his
a
friend
little brother.
Henry Clairville's like, "What's going on? What's up?" And he's like, "My brother's dead." And Clairville's like, "No, he was a sweet little boy. Everybody knows him as a sweet little boy." So he decides to go back home to comfort his family and be there with his family.
Is he
So
still
on
speak
his
at
way
this point?
home, he's like, "You know what? I'm gonna stop by the scene of the murder." I think that's a good idea. So go to page 50.
And then the creature shows up and murders him.
That would be pretty cool.
Okay, I'm gonna have you read, Damien.
Ooh, okay. I have a
Okay,
good
you ready
reading
for
list.
this? Okay, page 50.
Sorry, I spilled some coffee on my vocals this morning.
So yeah, get into character, get ready to.
Where am I
Page
reading?
50?
Where are we
Page
at?
50, guys. So he decides to stop by the scene of the murder on his way home, okay? So, page 50, he's like noticing the beauty of the
Wild.
nature around him. Okay, so start with while on the second paragraph. Okay?
You want me to actually read your
Yeah,
series?
read a paragraph. Yeah.
Okay.
Are we gonna do popcorn reading?
No.
Oh yeah, let's popcorn read, because I'm gonna popcorn you.
I'll read after, I'll read after David.
Good idea. While I watched The Tempest, so beautiful yet terrific.
Please don't let him.
Just read seriously.
I am reading. This is how I read when I go
Okay.
home.
Okay.
When I go home.
You like put yourself in a room that is not
Yeah, I read to myself in my room.
Okay, let him read.
I wandered on with a hasty step. Sorry, that was a funny line. This noble war in the sky elevated my spirits. I clasped my hands and exclaimed aloud, "William, dear angel!" Ah, that was real sad. This
Okay,
is thy
Damien.
funeral. This is thy dirge. As I said these words, I perceived. How do you say that
Yeah,
word?
perceived.
Perceived in the gloom a figure which stole from behind a clump of trees to me. I stood fixed, gazing intently. My dad.
Okay. I could not be mistaken. A flash of lightning illuminated the object and discovered its shape plainly to me. Its gigantic stature and the deformity of its aspect, more hideous than belongs to humanity, instantly informed me that it was the wretch, the filthy demon to whom I had given life. What did he there?
I was right.
Could he be, I shudder at the conception, the murderer of my brother?
I was right.
No sooner did that idea cross my imagination than I became convinced of its truth. My teeth chattered, and I was forced to lean against a tree for support. The figure passed me quickly, and I lost it in the gloom. Nothing in human shape could have destroyed that fair child. He was the murderer. I could not doubt it. The mere presence of the idea was an irresistible proof of the fact. I thought of pursuing the devil, but would have been in vain, for another flash discovered him to me hanging amongst the rocks of the nearly perpendicular ascent of Mont Saleve. I don't know how you pronounce that. A hill that bound Plainpalais on the south. He soon reached the summit and disappeared. I remained motionless. What, James?
I'll read.
Okay.
Okay. I remained motionless. The thunder ceased, but the rain still continued, and the scene was enveloped in an impenetrable darkness. I resolved in my mind the events which I had until now sought to forget. The whole train of my progress towards the creation and the appearance of the work of my own hands alive at my bedside, its departure. 2 years had now nearly elapsed since the night on which he first received life. And was this his first crime? Alas, I turned loose into the world a depraved wretch, whose delight was in carnage and misery. Had he not murdered my brother?
Okay, thank you, James.
Oh, so sad.
Okay, no one can conceive the anguish I suffered during the remainder of the night which I spent cold and wet in the open air. But I did not feel the inconvenience of the weather. My imagination was busy in scenes of evil and despair. I considered the being whom I had cast among mankind, endowed with the will and power to effect purposes of horror, such as the deed which he had now done. Narrowly in the light of my own vampire, my own spirit let loose from the grave and forced to destroy all that was dear to
How do
me.
you reach him?
So do you guys think it was the creature?
Yes,
You still think it was
Yes,
the
it was the
creature?
creature. The creature.
Yeah, why would he be hanging around the scene of the murder?
because he likes the smell.
He wants to find out who did it.
Nala says he wants to talk to Victor. I'm kind of with Nala on that.
Haven't you read the book?
No.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
How does she?
So
Sarcasm.
Victor Frankenstein was not there.
He is. This is Victor Frankenstein speaking.
To
Yeah.
who?
He was in the pod.
He's just speaking to himself.
He's a bit crazy.
He's
Wait, I thought he
narrating.
was
He's
talking to
narrating his
someone.
story. To remember Robert Walton at the beginning.
Yeah.
He's telling
Who's-
Robert Walton.
Who's the brother of the kid who died?
Victor.
Victor Frankenstein.
His little brother is the one that died.
And I thought he was sick.
He was.
No.
And so he received a letter. He
But
was
then
sick
he-
for like 2 months.
And then came back to this place.
It was near his home, right? Where his father and his sister and his other brother
But he
lived.
wasn't there.
Yeah, he came back. He wasn't there when the brother died,
Was he there?
but he just went to the scene of the
I'm
murder.
just trying to, like, where did he make Frankenstein? Because if he made him in
He
somewhere
made him
else,
Wait,
act
who's
like when he went off to
Frankenstein? There's only
college.
how would
He made the
how would
creature.
Frankenstein be next to the murder scene if he's all the way somewhere else?
So remember, after he created the creature, the creature ran away. So we don't know what happened to the creature,
Okay.
and he was sick for 2 months.
Like, you're making me think too hard.
No, this is good, guys.
Yeah, I don't
Wait,
like
does
it.
the monster run fast?
The monster is very fast. Like, did you just? We just read that like he wanted to like confront the creature, but the creature like scaled this cliff and like
Yeah, it was just like, it was just like hanging there like.
he's like, you know what, you can't touch this, and then he like ran away.
He
So
was like King Kong.
this guy isn't the like Frankenstein of the movies. This guy's really strong. He's 8 feet tall.
He's a zombie.
Okay.
Is he talk good? Is he like?
Very strong.
We'll find
Like
out.
Sylvester